hang out, wait for everybody to get on. Hopefully you can hear me all right. Hey, how's it going? So this is our first live chat of 21 now. I keep thinking 2020. Hey, from New Zealand, West Alabama, Jamie, Patrick, Alexander. Hey, y'all. Hey, Caleb. Oh, I'm going to mess that name up. Hey, Renato from Portugal. That's cool. Hey, y'all. Hey, William. Is that Ola or Hola? Hey, Dylan. Okay. Hey from South Carolina. Hey, everyone. Thanks, Patrick. That was my first attempt on doing an exhaust, so that was fun. I was pretty happy with the outcome there. Hey, Pablo, Damien, John. Thanks, Mechanic Kid. I really appreciate that. Hey, Chris. Let me check. I'm super bad. I've probably read it and completely forgot to respond. So let me go back through my emails or shoot me another one, and I'll get back with you. Thanks, Patrick. Let's see. I'll be honest. The way we did that exhaust really was quite about as easy as it got, just because we got the bent pipes and then we were able to just come out the side of the car with it. Obviously, if we had come up over the rear end and everything, it'd be a little different. With the 66, we're going to get an HD manifold and completely come down from that manifold and work our way all the way back over the rear end and all. So it'll be a little bit more work there on that one. Let's see. Hey, Matt. Hey, Christoph. Yeah, I'll definitely be doing a cost breakdown on the Porsche pretty soon. We're getting up there, but we're still a lot less than where I wanted to be on that car. I wanted to be running and driving for 10 or less, which that sounds like a good bit of money, but over a little over a year now, that's not a ton to have spent, especially on a Porsche and where we've gone with it. And so I'm excited to get the engine in, get the wiring done, be able to get the car running, and see where we're at as far as cost-wise goes. She's sliding stuff in from the door there. Hey, David. Thank you. Hey, Fix, Drive, Ride, Fly. If I'm missing you, I'm trying to read them all here. That's cool, from Puerto Rico. Can you old start an old Volvo sometime, Alexander? Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, we've actually got some really. Are you? She's watching me in there. It sounds funny because I can hear myself through the door. We've actually got some really cool ones coming up that are different ones we haven't done yet that are going to be some really fun will it starts. And not a Volvo yet, but I'm keeping my eye out. There's quite a few older Volvos that I'm really a big fan of. Thanks, Joel. Thanks, John. Oh, West Yorkshire. Cool. Any reason? So the reason I went 3 inches, we already had 3-inch exhaust, 3-inch headers, and I've never had anything with 3-inch exhaust. And one of those things, I wanted to try it, so I went for it. It's a little excessive, but I think with the stance of the car, we had plenty of room, especially how the layout of the underneath of the car is. And it really does give it a very throaty, aggressive sound. That's really what we were wanting to go for. I know my dad's 67 Fairlane had 2.5s, and I really like the sound, but you can definitely tell the poppy versus the throatiness of that 3-inch exhaust over that 2-inch or a 2 1/4 or 2.5 and 2 1/4. So it's just what we decided to try. It all kind of worked out that way, and pretty pleased with the sound. Hopefully soon, as stuff hopefully slows down before long, we'll be able to do some meet and greets or something, and some people can see that car in person and hear it. I think it'll be pretty fun. Hey, Matt, thank you. Okay, I'm trying to, sorry. Just sub, thanks, John. Yeah, he's getting there. He's still a little on the shy side about things, but he's starting to laugh and giggle and talk and interact a little bit more. Hopefully soon we'll get him to do an intro. What is the small white car? So that is we actually have two of them now. That's going to be a future. We've got a lot going on, but that is they're both 1968 Datsun 1600 Roadsters. There was, you know how it goes. We saw some cars up there going, and people were actually going to be hauling off for scrap. We got that, a pickup truck, a Jeep, and then something else really big that's coming up pretty soon. Why am I drunk when I work? Why aren't I? Well, I'm not ever drunk. I've actually only been drunk one time in my life. It's a very bad experience. Hey, from Germany. What do I think the value will be on it? Oh, where'd I go? The value on, it's hard to say. A decent driver right now, the 911 Targas of that era are high 20s, 25, 28. The 10K budget is going to be basically a getting in motion budget. I'd still like to be under 12, maybe under 15 when complete. And I would think the car would be close if I were to put a number on it without seeing where it's going to be. But I'd say somewhere around 30 maybe. Obviously something we're never going to sell, so we'll never find out. But ooh, snowy cold Ontario. I'll be honest, I'm hoping for some snow this year. It hasn't gotten over. Sorry, can I cut? Yeah, you can come grab your charger, honey. It hasn't gotten over or under maybe 30 this year. It's actually stayed really warm. Say hi.
Hi.
And actually, it was like 70 degrees one day this week. So sorry it's so cold there. Thanks, Qualzone. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was a adventure for us, and definitely we were learning there. Hey, Freddie. Hey, thanks, John. That was a cool truck, and it was definitely one that just got on an auction, and we're digging around, and it went for $150, and might as well bid on it. I'm glad we were able to bring that one back to life. Lay off those caddies. Which caddies? Or do you want to see the caddy? I'm coming back with the caddy. Would I ever paint the Mercury Comet? Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. I think at this point, I want kind of the rough car pulled out of a barn look, kind of a street rod, hot rod. Definitely something in the future. That car is going to be a lot of work. It's going to be similar to the Porsche because we're really going to have to knock it all the way back down to bare metal. And so that's going to be a big project, but it's definitely something we'll consider someday unless somebody snatches it out from under us before we can. We just have so many projects going on, you know that, but it's one of those things. I'm bad about trying to save everything I possibly can, and I probably shouldn't because now people got to save it for me. Hey, Tom from Wales. I imagine you probably like South Carolina or Camden. I'm thinking South Carolina better than Buffalo, New York, just as far as the weather. I'm not a huge fan of cold weather. As far as my passion for Porsche, my passion for Porsche came when I bought the Porsche. I had a passion for Volkswagens. I've always been a Volkswagen, not always. I was American cars, and then I got into Japanese stuff, and then I fell in love with Volkswagens. And so obviously it's basically a Volkswagen-ish. Some people are going to get mad because I said that, but working on Volkswagens, working on it, I can see how similar they really are as far as some of the components go and the design and the layout. And so that's really what's brought me to enjoy it. And obviously it's kind of one of those childhood dream cars for me growing up. It's something that's somewhat unobtainable, I guess, for a lot of people like myself. And so to have the ability to be able to purchase it for what we did and build it, it's been really awesome and incredible experience. Hey from Holland, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that name. If someone wants to translate some of these. Hey, Oliver, let's see. Do that. Yeah, you can still pick up glass pack, old cherry bombs. Get you some old glass packs. I like a glass pack. I think especially with 3-inch exhaust, it'd be really rowdy and probably a little bit too obnoxious. So the Rabbit, I got everything basically ready to run, and I sent the ECU out in December to get it tuned at Malone, and because of shipping, it took like literally a month for it to ship out there, and they're in Canada, and then it took literally forever for it to come back. And so 4 days ago now, the ECU came back in. So hopefully next week or the following week, the ECU is going back in. I'll get the wiring all set up, and we'll be running that truck and then wrapping it up. And then that one's pretty much done. So for those of you that say I don't finish projects, which projects are never done. A car will never be done, but that one's going to be really close pretty soon. Oh, okay. So you asked the same thing, Driftwood Pile. Hey, from Maine. So what I just said. Where did I get the Targa top? So gentleman on Marketplace had a bunch of stuff stuffed away in a barn and everything. And we went out there, and he happened to have that fiberglass Targa top. He had, my assessment on that was, do I take something that I know I could potentially fix myself, or do you buy a rough Targa top and spend $800 or $900 putting a top, the Targa kit back on it, the new material and everything. So for me, it kind of panned out. And I like that because I figured it'd be nice to sand it down, get it nice and smoothed out, and it'll look really good at the end of the day, especially if we thinking about maybe doing a darker green, kind of give it a nice accent off of the rest of the car. Great. Thanks, Dustin. Yeah, there's some headache as far as getting those headers in there, especially 79 Bandit Trans Am. Hey, shoot me an email. I may be willing to run out and do a will it run. Any new projects? So we got like 23 new projects on the way. Like, no joke, literally 23 new projects. But we have to get some done first. So they're coming. They're coming, but there's a lot. Oh no, it's funny. We've gotten, when we're at my dad's house now, when people drive by, we'll hear them honk. Totally fine. Doesn't bother us one bit. It's kind of cool to know that people even locally are recognizing the channel. It's pretty cool. Oh, I like an old Volvo tank. It's the Volvo tanks, and I really love the P cars and everything, and the big curvy lines, which you know how we like our old curvy, a lot of chrome cars, and especially some of those old classic Volvos. There's a lot of sheet metal on them and a lot of chrome and stuff. There's actually a new car that we got pretty recently, like yesterday, that's got quite a bit of chrome. It's really similar to a Volvo. I think you guys will really like. Thanks from South Texas, JCH Pad. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me catch up here. Yep, I won't sell that Porsche. We'll definitely get another one. Next car we're going to work on. We need to wrap up the Rabbit pickup truck, the Comet. The motor's been in the little Nash Metropolitan. I just need to literally take an afternoon, get it running, and it's ready to go, and then wrap up the Porsche. And then probably we've got a couple will it runs in between that we've had set to the side for a little while now, and that we've actually filmed. I just haven't had a chance to put them together and get the videos out. But we do have probably 10 or 12 will it runs coming up in the next few months that I think y'all are really going to enjoy. As far as project cars go, we've got something really exciting coming up with one of the Datsuns. One of them has the original drivetrain in it. The other one is drivetrain-less. And if you know where I'm going with that. So that's going to be a fun project pretty soon. So as far as a Lambo or an Italian supercar goes, old stuff. Like one of my favorite cars is a 250 GTO. So it'd have to be something of that era, and I can't particularly afford that kind of stuff. We might get like a little Datsun 260 or something, and like one of the kit cars that are the 250 GTOs, or do something fun with that. But as far as maybe in the long time future, we can afford a project like that. Let's see. Hey everyone. Enter to snow. Enough for a little snowman. Nice. 8 to 12 inches of snow tomorrow. Whew, have fun. So if you have time, buy a Porsche 244. Probably will again. I haven't had a 944. I said two. I've had two 924s, one 924S and then an older 924. Those are pretty cool little cars. So something definitely we'll do again in the future. So Volkswagen video pickup video. I'm thinking next week, maybe the end of next week or the week after. So within 2 weeks, we'll have a video out, hopefully have the truck running and be ready to go. Hey everyone. The MG, which MG? So we've got the B, although we wanted to fix that one, was way too far gone. There was no frame rails, and the issue with that car is I know in Europe they're harder to find. Here you can buy them all day long, and so it just wasn't justifiable. We were able to take the parts off of that car and help a lot of other people save other cars and stuff. I know a gentleman came and bought like the hubs and the wheels so he could set up his car with the wire wheels and stuff like that. We were able to help a lot of other people out, and we still have the drivetrain, which is going to be going in another car probably in the next year. Well, I don't know, pretty soon. So as we figure that out, we'll be getting it built back together. I know we tore it down. We'll get it all machined, and it'll be going back together. Hat. So this hat is from Huntington Beach, South Carolina. So it's probably it's probably been a couple years ago now. We all went down and went on a camping trip. We love camping. Hopefully we sold our little old camper, and we're hoping to get a new one, but we had some other things come up, and so we hadn't had a chance to get one yet, but hopefully soon. And we do love camping. Awesome. Thanks for ordering some stickers. Hey, Devin. We got 2 mufflers, so that's all it needs. Thanks, man. I really appreciate you helping the channel out, man. So mechanical experience, basically when I was 12 years old, I started a bicycle shop per se. I started fixing, buying, and selling bicycles. And that worked its way into dirt bikes and motorcycles and four-wheelers and then cars. And so basically I wrecked a dirt bike really, really, really bad. That's where this guy came from. And then it went into cars. And then so I just started piddling. My dad's been into cars. Obviously, if you've seen the video with the Starfire, my grandfather's into cars. So I kind of grew up around these classic cars, and that's really what's brought me into it. And then when I was 15, I started working for the boat shop. And then that's where that experience really went from, here up to here. And just 7 years of doing it is really where that came from. So let's see. From Germany. Cool. Thank you, Tara. Truly deserve. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Christoph. Hey, Robert. I'm way behind here. How far are we with the Porsche? We've gone a little bit more from than our last video. It's kind of one of those things. So the biggest thing with the Porsche is I'm married and I have 3 little children, and this is technically what I do full time other than buying and selling and flipping. And not that car's been extremely expensive, but the purchases that we're making at this point are like when we went and did our paint job, we spent, $800, $1,200, and that's a good chunk, especially for me. And so that's where some of our will it runs are actually coming in right now, because that's cars we've had set to the side that we'll be flipping and selling, kind of like that F-150 and some of the other ones that we have going on. Flaky light. So the Starfire is actually my uncle, so that's his deal, but everything else is going to be our little deals going on, and most of those will actually be for sale when we're done getting them going and everything. Hey, Phil. Yeah, under my real name, I need to know. Hey, William. Thanks, man. Anything. Yeah, that's very true. I'm not a huge computer vehicle fan. Yeah, it is really cool how many people from everywhere are here. It's so cool to see all of you that really enjoy these classic cars and stuff, and bringing stuff back to life inexpensively. So, who wouldn't like to drive a Porsche or not? I'd love to drive a Porsche. I'd like to drive an Audi R8. I don't know if I'd ever own one. So for me, I probably would. Yeah, I probably would. Thanks. Oh, you're from South Carolina? From Denmark. Cool, Seaside Garage. Thanks, man. Thanks, Tripods Garage. Early Toyota Celica. Yeah, definitely. I had a little 88 convertible back in the day, and I really like that little car, but I'd like a rear-wheel drive, something pretty fun. Hey, Chris. Thanks, man. Yeah. I appreciate that. Thanks, long time. I might need to get another light bulb. So yeah, I appreciate, for me, a lot of the stuff that I do, I have an idea of what I'm going to do. And then as we do it, honestly, with you guys and the videos, I'm learning a lot of what I'm doing here. So like I've got the mechanical side of things. And then as far as the restoration stuff goes, this is a learning experience for us. And so it's really fun to grow as a channel and as a guy that restores stuff with y'all. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Classic Car and Cycle UK. Cuban cigars. That's right. I'll just want, just have it in my mouth. I would probably sell I don't know. I'm kind of wanting to keep the whale tail so we can throw it on another. So it's our entry into another portion when we get this one done. But I might consider it. Shoot me an email. Which Ford truck? Because we got the newest one, the F-150. We've got how many? Quite a few Ford trucks. Thanks, Steve. Do you go as a project? I'd love to. I like weird, quirky, ugly, different, whatever. That's what I'm all about. If we can't, if it's not around, I want it. Get a kit car Lambo. I'm not a huge fan of the Lambo kit cars unless they're the older Countach ones. We actually found a Ferrari. What was that? Yeah, a Ferrari California convertible. California? Something like that. Kit car that was on a Corvette frame. That was a really cool setup. It kind of got overbid a little bit, but we were interested in trying to save that one. It would have been really fun. But we'll definitely get something again. Thanks, Cuba. I love a old beam, but that was one car that I had tried to get for a long time, and you never could find a really nice one. It was a 2002. Definitely something I again would love to be able to get a hold of someday, but we gotta take it easy. Something though. Auto by Bianchi. I'm not even sure how to say that. A Barth. I don't know. They're probably impossible to find, but importing stuff's gotten a lot more so now. So hopefully soon we'll be able to find something. EV conversion. Yes. I've always had a fascination with electric vehicles. And so something that we would actually the Rabbit, I was going to make electric before I decided to go TDI. The price to go TDI was a lot cheaper than electrics, but we may try budget electric build, hopefully before long, maybe with a forklift engine or something. Thanks, Turning Wrenches. Yes, Logan. I want to get that Metropolitan running really soon. We went through, got a nice engine in it and everything, and it's all set up and prettied up. I just literally have to throw a battery in it, throw some fuel at it, and fire it. And it's just sitting there waiting. We just trying to get the Porsche wrapped up and the Rabbit and everything, but really soon, hopefully the next few weeks. Corrado. Yes, I'd be interested in doing a Corrado sometime. We do have some merch. We've got stickers at this point, which are at our website. It's budgetbuildsyt.com. Hopefully soon we get some hats and some shirts and maybe some hoodies or something. Try to offer a little bit more for you guys to be able to pick up and rock our stuff, because we really appreciate that. And we'll definitely do some giveaways with stuff like that and all. I've actually got one giveaway coming up pretty soon that I think you guys will really like. It's going to be pretty fun. Oh, my mother's calling me. Hello. Why? Can you not see me? She's telling me to fix my lighting. Honey, will you come fix my lighting, please? Okay. All right, sorry. 80 degrees here, steaming hot. Whew, that's good.
What's going on?
She said to fix the lighting.
Is the fan
I had one gentleman email me, which was actually the guy that we went and got the MGB from. But as far as that goes, I've had a couple of people, not much, but we'd be more than happy to save whatever we can. Hey, Devin. Oh, sorry, bud. I'm.
Do they want more lighting?
That's what Mom said. Sorry, man. I did not mean to do that. I really appreciate it. And thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it, man. What's up, Paul? If right now the Comet's going to stay kind of like it is, but maybe soon. The biggest thing is that car's got so many chips and stuff that we'll basically have to strip it down to bare metal and then paint that car. But we're going to be setting up a paint area pretty soon. Oh my goodness. She's blinding me. Pretty soon then we can potentially consider painting that thing. As far as plans for the F-150, I don't really. The biggest thing is that one might be one that would be good to consider somebody else bringing back to life the rest of the way. So if anybody's interested in it, the biggest killer with that truck was when we bought it, we were told it had a title from the place we bought it from, and then now they're kind of going back on it. So it's a clean truck, but you just have to go through the process, either get a South Carolina title or do the Vermont thing or something to be able to get a title on that truck to get it back out on the street, or cab swap it, which is not too terribly hard. It's better. It's a little bright, but it'll work. Can y'all see me okay? Yes.
I'm gonna go feed our kids dinner.
Thank you all so much. I really appreciate the love. This is so cool to be able to see and talk to everybody and answer all these questions. Oh, you're totally fine, man. Let's see. Okay. So do I make, yes, it is. And the biggest issue with, I'm technically making a living doing what we're doing right now. Obviously we do these will it runs and then we sell them afterwards. So that's a big bonus onto it. The hardest thing with automotive YouTubing is car parts are expensive. So we do okay every month. We do pretty okay, but car parts cost a lot. And so that adds up pretty quickly. So most of the income that actually pays for parts and stuff is me buying and selling stuff and that kind of thing. So we are technically making it. This is what I do full time, and take stuff to the scrapyard, that kind of stuff, do some extra stuff on the side. Oh no, I don't know where I went. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Thanks, Marius. Thank you so much for the support, man. Hey, Ruggiero. Hey, Javier. I probably just butchered that. I am sorry. Thanks, Tripods Garage, for the support, man. Yeah, so we actually got a GoPro 9, and with that, I got, oh, look, it's right here. So we got the 9. This is the new camera we're using, and it's kind of cool because you can see yourself. The only problem is I'm having the issues I did. If you guys are a longtime subscriber, I used to film with this, and I used to look at the screen, and then I was staring at myself. And so this one's got the nice little screen so you can see what you're filming, but sometimes I catch myself looking at that screen. And then with that, we got the mic mod. And so that is actually a two-way microphone. So instead of hearing me when I'm going this way and then not this way. You can hear me from both sides, and it picks up fairly well. And then we just edit out what we need to at this point. F100. So we have another F100. We have for a long time, and that one's half filmed, and we'll finish it and then post it. It's actually, well, I'll go ahead and let you know. It's a 53 with a last year flathead V8 factory Ford-O-Matic, and it's a really stinking cool truck, and I think you guys will really dig that thing. It's been tucked away for a little while, but hopefully soon we'll be getting it drugged back out. Hey, Philip. Hey, John. Hey, Alexander. Yeah, it's been fun, man. It's like I said, especially with the size of my family and everything, it gets a tight sometimes, but it's been really fun and really enjoyable, and I'm so glad we've been able to make it happen and bring this content out for y'all. Hey, Hayden. Yeah, I'd get a 69 Mustang, man. So I've actually almost bought a couple Mustangs in the past, but I bought a Falcon instead, and like I said, I'm drawn to the stuff that's a little different. I like a Mustang, but there'd have to be something that makes it stand out, or I'd make it stand out. You know what I mean? Hey, Sanaka from France. Orlando from Massachusetts. Hey, Orlando. Yeah, I can't wait to get that thing done. It's going to be really fun. Thanks, Drift Woodpile, for the support, man. Yeah, I need to get one of those helicopters so we can, I guess that's what you mean, go gadget helicopter, so we can film stuff overhead. I guess, what is that thing called? I don't even know what they're called. Yep, not even going to try to think about it. Let's see. Hey, Gene from Colorado. Wow, I'm way behind, aren't I? Sorry, y'all. Hey, Random BS. Thanks, man. Hey, Vincio. Oh, older the vehicle, the better. Yeah, we're slowly working our way back. The stuff we're getting is older and older and older, and hopefully soon we'll be back into the 40s or something. I love like Model A's and T's and the older Chryslers and Packards and that kind of stuff. I love everything. Y'all know that. Anything and everything, we'll save it. That's just what we do. Thanks, Orlando. Sheffield, England. Hi, John. Thanks, Austin. Yeah, let's see. Build wheelchairs without shit. Thanks. Let's see. Me. I'm glad you came for the rabbit, Jonathan. I think I might have just skipped a few. I'm trying to. Oh, so you traded your caddy for a 62 bug. I don't know. Some of y'all mentioned the bug in the video with the Starfire, and so that's actually our Beetle. It's one we bought quite a few. Oh my goodness, quite a few years. Okay, it's one we bought. Let me turn. Okay, it's one we bought quite a few years ago, and so my mom's watching this, trying to tell my wife to change lighting and stuff. So it's one we not quite a few months ago, and it's one that we have plans to get going very soon. We actually have some really cool build ideas for that thing. Hey, we're Weekend Warriors. Cool, you're just down the road. Okay, let me find some. Hey, everyone, I'm going to try to find some questions here to answer. Am I an old... So, I love old air-cooled Volkswagens. I have always been a water-cooled guy. So, I love Mark 1s and Mark 2s. I've always had Rabbit pickup trucks. But we had a 78 Westphalia. And so, I love the air-cooled stuff, too. Obviously, we got an air-cooled Porsche, and we have that Beetle now. What is the four-door in the new video? So that's one that we saved from the scrapyard, and it is a Alfa Romeo. I can't even remember the model. It's in my head, but I cannot think of it. But yeah, it's a little Alfa Romeo. That's a pretty cool little car that we're gonna get running here pretty soon. Hey, Not and Paul. No, you're right here. I see ya. Yeah, it looks good, honey. Hey, Tim from North Georgia. Yeah, drone. That's what it is. The helicopter thing, it's a drone. I go blank up here sometimes. Oh. Okay, let's see. What YouTube channels do I watch in my downtime? Oh my, I don't have
Mustache Guy.
Mustache Guy. What is that? Mr. Ballin. So I don't know if you guys like. I like scary stuff. I love horror movies, and so he does he does storytelling, and it's scary storytelling. So yes, she's right, Mustache Guy. Mr. Ballin. I like watching Mr. Ballin. And also, I know I shouldn't, and it's completely the opposite. I'm not even subscribed to him, but Whistling Diesel, just because it's the dumbest things I've ever seen, and it's freaking hilarious. It's awful to see stuff torn up, but it's funny, but I shouldn't like that. But I don't, but I do, but I don't. And who else do I watch? I used to watch Adam LZ all the time. That was like, because I BMX'd when I was younger. So I always watched Adam. And who else do I watch? I liked watching Goon Squad. As far as what I watch now, I just watch Mr. Ballin, and then I'll get on and I watch Roadkill on Motor Trend. That's about it. That's all I have time for anymore. Okay. Hey, Wayne. My dad's name is Chris. Oh, where'd we go? Okay. Reading. Yes, the MGB. Well, so what I was saying about the MGB, I wanted to save that one, but it wasn't just too far. It was too far gone. It could have been buildable, but in my area, as reasonable as you can pick those up, that one, the frame rails, when we went to jack the car up, the jack actually went through the frame rail into the not just the floor, through the frame rails, and it was so far gone. We were actually able to save a lot of other cars and keep that drivetrain for a future build. I'm an MGB GT guy. That's what I love. And so I'd like to build that engine and get it ready for when we find an MGB GT. So we'll get one of those before long. What do I think about a 912 project? Actually, my friend Chris, the guy we went up and did some painting and stuff with, sent me one that we have been pondering picking up. It's basically a shell, but it has everything. But it's it's a long nose car. 67, 68. I may be completely off on that, but it's a little 912. The nice thing, I'd like to get a 912 and just go crazy with it, like just a really fun little street rod, built 4-cylinder that we can do whatever in the world we want to and not have to worry about it being, well, I don't know if they're getting worth more, but just have fun with it. Project Binky. I'll have to go check that out. I have not. I probably have. Yeah, Jimmy is. Let's see. Yep, he's got a funny laugh. He's a goofball. Do I have any Cadillac projects? I don't at this moment. We picked up that one Cadillac and it was wrecked and the frame was bent and everything. And with the motor frozen, it kind of just turned into, well, it worked out because we were able to trade it for that International. We're going to keep an eye out. We don't necessarily choose what cars we get. We just kind of, when they pop up or need saving or at the scrapyard, we save them. So I'm sure we'll get another Cadillac before long. Yeah, they've gone crazy, hadn't they? Yeah, I don't think it does. It's just there. No, it's not the Giulietta. It's hey, well, here, look. I'll tell you really quick. I'm gonna look on my phone. Alfetta. It's an Alfa Romeo Alfetta sedan, or what do they call it? A saloon or salon. It's 4-cylinder, double overhead cam, 5-speed sedan, really cool little car, and I think we're going to build a little race car out of it once we get it running. So I think that one will be really fun. There's so many of the little Alfa Romeo convertibles, and they're cool, but there's so many of them. And so this one was at the local scrapyard, and so we kind of had to save it, We can't let them get scrapped. You don't see that stuff crushed. Do I got any where'd I go? Sorry. I need somebody else to scroll through this, so I'm not trying to. Okay, got any vehicles you regret selling or would? I probably regret selling everything, but no, probably the one that I wish I still had was my last Rabbit pickup truck. It was that little black one that I posted a few pictures of that I shaved the bay on and everything. But with the new one, once we get it going and driving, I think that I'll slowly get over that. For me, I don't necessarily get bored of stuff really quick. It's just I want to get in it. I want to bring it back to life. I want to drive it and enjoy it and show it off and then sell it and get something else. So I can just keep going and just to save as many as I possibly can. And that's what we've been doing. And that's what I really enjoy doing. Let's see. Would I get a Cortina? Yeah, I'd get a Cortina. Let's see. Thanks, Ollie. Now there's too much light coming in. Hey, there's too much light coming in now. She's... Do I still? No, I sold the Honda dirt bike to pay for Porsche parts. We do have a 1964 Honda Cub 50 that we bought, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. That's a barn find now because it's been in a shed, or a shed find. It's been in a shed for so long that we're going to pull out and hopefully get running pretty soon. Cool, old man Mosh. Let's see. 69 to 72 Chevy Blazer. Yeah, I really like the old Blazer. So Drake's got that 87 it was, and that's a really cool rig. But yeah, 69 to 72 is probably one of my favorite body styles. Single headlight, nice round front end. That's a good looking rig. So yeah, I'd definitely rock one of those. Am I over budget? I'm not over budget with the Porsche yet. We're getting there, but I think we'll play it out all right, and I think we'll be pretty good with it. Hey, Krusty Customs Garage. That's the gentleman that does our stickers. Pretty good, man. How about you? Thanks, Marius. I really appreciate you supporting the channel. Some German. Yeah, I know. I try to say stuff the best I can. Y'all can send me over some voiceovers or something so I can start learning how to say these things, because we get a lot of these European and German cars and stuff, and I try to speak the words, but I really don't know. Oh, Musty One. Okay, so I haven't watched in his stuff lately, but that used to be, honestly, he's probably one of the guys that really got me into the older air-cooled Volkswagen stuff and the Will It Run stuff. So I used to watch when he went out and saved the bus that's actually his picture now. I remember that one, and back when he was always, that was like his main focus, was going out and saving the, it's not a bus, what do you got, transporter, going out and saving all the transporters. Thanks, Krusty Customs, man. I really appreciate that. I don't know, I guess I could say your name, but you just bought a 86 Doka. I have that in my head. I'm trying to figure out what, I know what that is, but I don't. I do. It's in my head. I'll have to look it up, but I will. Cold War Motors is a good channel. I'll have to check them out. Most of these, I'm really bad with names, so I've probably seen them. I've probably watched some of this stuff, but I will go check them out. Bus Grease Monkey channel. I'll check them out too. Hey, Brian. Thanks so much, man. Find an 80s Bronco. Oh, I will. I'm a 60s Bronco guy. I like an 80s, but I like the 60s. I like the late 80s, early 90s. So I'd rock any of them. I love a Bronco, especially if we can find a 300 manual Bronco, kind of like all our Ford trucks are. So I can stop chatting and go finish the Porsche. I know. It's cold and dark out there. I need a bigger shop. Oh, cool. 69 F100. What happened to the little moped? That one, we got it running and everything, and a gentleman was interested in buying it, and so we ended up letting that one go to fun Porsche stuff. Yeah, DD Speed Shop's pretty cool. He drug that. He's a big Tri-5 Chevy guy. Oh, yeah, Mechanic Kid. I'll go check your channel out, and we'll let's see, Doka double cab pickup. Okay, I got you. Yeah, You don't see many of the double cabs around here. You see some, which you don't see many of anything anymore. But we almost bought a single cab one time. We were looking at buying it. Well, yeah, I've seen Vice Group Garage. I watched some of his stuff. I don't know. It's one of those things. I enjoy watching the other automotive stuff. Don't get me wrong, but it was just like when I was a boat mechanic. I didn't want to come home and work on boats kind of deal. You know what I mean? I enjoy it. I really do, but it's not what I want to watch in my free time now because what free time I have. Most of the free time I have, I'm watching a computer screen editing. Thanks, Shane. 92 Wrangler. No, I'll keep it. You like a YJ? I had a 73 or 74 CJ5. I like Jeeps. Well, we've got that Jeep, the burnt up one that we're going to be doing pretty soon. Wayland Wire. I'll go check them out. Will the International ever get finished? So, yes, the biggest problem with the International, is decision making. And y'all can, I'll put a post up and y'all can vote. Stay 2-wheel drive, go 4-wheel drive. It's going to get a 727 torque flight one way or the other, but I need to decide, do I want to string myself out, go ahead and just go 4-wheel drive with the truck, or do we want to stay 2-wheel drive? And then once we do, I like it 2-wheel drive. It's just a nice runaround driver, low mileage truck. So it would be nice just to leave it 2-wheel drive, put a 2-inch lift. We've got the newer Chevy aluminum wheels, and then put some nice all-terrain white letter tires. I think it'd be a nice rig, air conditioning, power steering, and all. Let's see. Yes, it does. First truck was a 79 Datsun. Cool. We've got a 83 Nissan K720 that we're going to be able to maybe hopefully soon do something. Which is better, Volvo Penta or Mercruiser stern drives? Okay. So which is better? Volvo Penta, German engineering. Honestly, everything that they're designed around, the way they're set up is so easy. It comes apart so nicely. It's well engineered and it lasts literally forever. When it goes wrong, that stuff is on lockdown. Like you wouldn't, I mean, you cannot buy parts for them. You can, but you can't get schematics. You have to have a Volvo dealership to literally do anything with them. That's what's a pain with Volvo Penta. As far as the thing with Mercruisers is they're cheap, easy, everywhere. But as far as the newer stuff, they're head to head, but Volvo Penta definitely has. So like when you're doing gimbal bearing jobs, or you're doing the bellows that go in between, you have to literally pull that entire gimbal housing and everything off of a Mercruiser, completely tear it apart. It takes 2 days to do. A Volvo Penta, you can actually get in there, do everything without disassembly, and it takes like 3 hours. It's super easy, but it's getting those parts that makes it such a pain. Would you do a camper? Would I do a camper build? So when I told you we got a bunch of other stuff, we got technically a camper, but it runs and drives. So it's kind of a camper, but it's an RV, but it's kind of, you'll see. But yes, we will, because we are pretty soon. Later this year, because we have to get our other projects done. Y'all fuss at me for trying to get too many projects. We just can't help but save stuff. That's what we like doing. So we're just kind of stacking them up and getting them ready, getting them in line. We'll get them done and start on the next one. BMW, we have 2 of them right now that are going to be on the channel before long. When you watch your videos, you make me want to wrench. Do you want to sell the barn? Do I want to sell the barn find Honda? Yeah, I probably would. Shoot me an email. I'll have to talk to Dad with it because it's both of ours. It's something we've had for a long time, but we have so much other stuff going on. Excuse me. It would be something we'd consider letting go of. It's a cool bike. It's a black and white. It's got the fairing and everything, and it's pretty neat. We'll have to pull it out and get some pictures of it one day, or a video of it. It won't take much to get running. We had to put a carburetor on it, but the case was leaking so bad it needs to be split and resealed and everything, and it kind of just got stuck to the side. But it's got a clean title and everything from 1964. It's kind of cool. Let's see. You want to sell the whale tail? Email me about it. So as far as the whale tail goes, like I said before, I kind of want to hold on to it because it might push us into another Porsche project in the future. but I can't keep everything. So y'all shoot me an email. We can talk about it. I definitely want to try to go in order as to who's asked and everything, and try to be fair about everything. Old 90s 454 Mercruisers. Cool. Yeah, those are, I like the big block stuff. The only fun thing about a big block is I remember on a 496 I had to do, you get it on a 350, it takes you 30 minutes to pull the intake, pop the head off, you're done. You get in those big blocks, and you even just trying to pull the head off of a big block while you're down in a boat and get it plopped over, you might as well just use a chain fall. But I'm still a somewhat young guy, but stubborn young guy. I just wrench him up, and that's when my back hurts all the time now. Have you ever been to England before? I have never been anywhere out of this country other than, which I guess it technically wasn't. We went on a cruise to the Bahamas. That was what we did not last year, the year before, whichever year it was. Well, right before all the coronavirus stuff started, we went on a cruise, and that was the first time I'd ever been away from mainland. Don't get me wrong. So as far as old stuff goes, I don't just like old cars. I love old buildings and history. And so I would love to go over there because I know the age of everything is far older than anything we have here. And I'd love to see the history over there and a lot of the really cool cars that we don't get. What am I going to do when I hit 100,000 subscribers? I don't know. We'll do something really fun and something crazy. I'm not sure yet. We'll kind of plan that out. Hopefully, maybe this year sometime we'll hit that mark. I know we've been doing it for a year now, and we're at just over 80, which is such a huge milestone, and I really do appreciate it all, and it's really cool to be there. So hopefully soon we'll get to that point, and then we'll have something planned, something really fun planned for that. You're right. I know it's everything gets pushed back and we keep on going. For 100,000 subscribers, you should do a burnout. We'll do a burnout. We'll find something fun to do it in. Because like the Comet, I pulled it down at the bottom of the driveway and did a burnout yesterday, and it's happy to do a burnout. But we need to do a really fun burnout with something that you would not expect a burnout to be done in. How's the old 300 truck? I drove it to Dad's house today and back, so it's doing good. The biggest thing right now is I need to pull the tank again because the filler neck apparently that I bought was not the correct stuff. That's what you got from the auto parts store, and it's coming apart, so it clogs the fuel filter up every now and then. And so I do need to get a new one. I do need to replace that, clean the tank out. We've got a 4-barrel Offenhauser intake for it and a carburetor. But it still runs drives. When with my Yukon down before Dad let me borrow his truck for a little bit, I've been using it some. I drove that truck literally every day. So it still goes. It needs exhaust. It's obnoxiously loud. I went out to pick up a van from actually a subscriber. It was just a little old Ford van that we got cleaned up and was helped to resell to pay for the channel, some stuff on the channel. And when I was going out to get it, the muffler that was already rotted out fell out of it, so it's really loud now. And that's why we got that 3-inch exhaust to build a whole new exhaust system on that truck. Hopefully pretty soon, make it a lot nicer to drive and not run around like one of those crazy redneck hillbillies like I am with wide open exhaust. Thanks, Ben. Let's see. Titanic era, really cool. Yes, I am enthralled with stuff like that. Is that the word to say? I don't know. She could tell me. She might be out there. I'm not even sure if that's the right word, but yes, I love anything like that. I've watched hundreds of documentaries on the Titanic. A digital creator, a car builder, or both? Oh my. I don't know if I'm like a car builder. I am, but I'm not. It was always personal stuff for me, just personal cars. So I wasn't like a crazy car builder. Now that we're doing it more, I would be a car builder, I suppose. If that's up to y'all to decide. Am I a car builder? A digital creator? Yeah, that's technically what I do now. Is the basis of what we do has to realistically revolve around that digital creativity and creating content and what it can be for you guys. So that's why sometimes it takes me forever to get a video out, because I'll try to put it together and doesn't quite come out the way I wanted. I add stuff to it. Like this last Porsche video I put out, it wasn't quite what I wanted it to be. I didn't get enough what I felt like in it. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it still. If you notice, I try to get a lot crammed in there, and they get kind of long, and that's just me overanalyzing stuff because that's just how I do. Okay. My dad is, hey, 45. How old is Dad? I don't know. My mom might comment. 43, 44, something like that. And I'm 23. Hey, honey. Okay. She can't hear me. I don't know. He was 20 when I was born. So I'm just an old fart and he still looks nice and young. So what is my background? Do another four-wheeling video. I really enjoyed that. So that was like the first time we literally got out and were able to go play for a day in a vehicle. And, normally it's just working on stuff, which I love it. I really enjoy it, but it was really fun to get out and actually, other than we had that MG video, but get out, do some driving, have some fun. We'll definitely do another four-wheeling video because we have at least a couple coming up. So we'll take them out and have some fun. What is my background in mechanics? Like I said before, for those that haven't heard, when I was 12, I bought a bicycle, flipped it, sold it, and then from there, bought like hundreds more and just went crazy with it, buying, flipping, selling. And then that turned into dirt bikes and four-wheelers and motorcycles. And then a really bad, nasty accident turned that into cars. And then when I was 15, I got a job as a marine technician, boat mechanic. That's a fancy name for that. And did that for 7 years until I left that in May to do this full-time and work from home. So that's my background, has just been getting in there, digging in, and learning for as long as I can remember. And then I grew up around it. My dad and my grandfather and everybody had old cars. So that's where a lot of that comes from. Hey, Richard. Loud pipes save lives. You know it, man. Oh, yeah, I know. Hey, especially a couple times he's grown his mustache out like down to here. And then a little bit of a go. And he always gets caught. He always gets asked if he's brothers with Jeff Foxworthy. It's flipping hilarious. Ever come across some older 60s, 70s Volvos? I have not. We really do like them. We have not at this point. When they do come up, we'll save them and snatch them. We did come across I'm going to butcher this, a Citroen that we really want to try to save. One of the sedans with the crazy wheels and everything. But definitely would jump on a Volvo if we come across one. It's like I said before, it's just kind of one of those things when they pop up or we get a call about them, or my friend Eric at the scrapyard hollers at me and is like, hey man, we got this, just came in, somebody scrapped. We jump on it and save it. And so that's where we kind of try to hold out on those as we can try to save them. If I have a 67 to 72 Chevy or GMC, we should do that, and we probably will. And there might be one of those coming up really soon. You guys, you're guessing these. You know them. Let's see. How about a CB radio? I'd put another one in there. I just don't want to drill the hole back through the roof. Like it used to have a CB radio, and that's where the hole was in the top of the Targa. Somebody had stuck a CB in it. We'd have to do something a little different, maybe magnetize one or something. But yeah, we'd stick a old school CB radio in there. Hey, Bronze Maze. Oh, where'd we go? Hey, Goldfinger from the Netherlands. I'm Sane BRZ. I guess that's how you say it. Thank you so much for the support, man, on the channel. I really do appreciate it. Hey, R100 WYN. Win. Thanks, man. If you find any early Beatles pre-64, I'm after a few original bits. All right, I'll holler. We've got that 69 now, but I definitely love the early stuff, especially the small window cars or the split window cars. And so if we find one, we'll jump on it. Can't wait for the BMW projects. Yeah, there was a little bit of them in the Comet video. You could kind of see them back there. So hopefully you didn't see what they were, but it's okay if you did. We're getting to them. We'll come around. No, so as far as my boat mechanic job went, no, I was full. I mean, the pandemic did complete the opposite to boat mechanics. We went from being extremely busy to even more extremely busy. And just because everybody was running to their, their big vacation houses and playing on their boats and tearing them up. Uh, no, I did it for 7 years. It was a great job. I had an awesome boss. I really enjoyed it. It was just time for something different. And this was working out for me, especially because not only because of the YouTube thing, but because of just the buying and selling and flipping. Hopefully soon we're going to work on getting a dealer's license just so we can do some more of the flipping on the side to keep funding these projects like the Porsche a little bit more so. But no, it's just been a dream of mine. And it's one of those things. I was working, which I still work 7 days a week, but I was working 4 days as a boat mechanic or 5 days and then working all weekend doing YouTube. And I had to choose one or the other. It was with my family and everything. It was just too much. And so I had to choose one or the other. And the opportunity to work from home and be here with my wife and kids, even though I do work, like I said, sometimes 7 days a week, I'm here at home. And so I might work a Saturday or a Sunday, especially with Dad working during the week. And then I might kind of chill on a Monday or Tuesday or something. And so I can tell the difference in my children and the way they act now that I'm more so at home. And which is kind of funny. If I ever go anywhere, like when we went up to paint the Porsche, she goes crazy, but you know how it is. But that was just it's just one of those things. I kind of just had to jump into it because I had to choose one or the other. I had to quit YouTube because it was too much and continue as a boat mechanic, or just do my own thing and try it. And I feel like it's working out and it's been going pretty well. So, hey, Skycrafter. Awesome. I hope you really enjoy. I hope you're enjoying it. Thanks, Dougie. I think that's how I say that. I don't know if I have a lot of knowledge or I just like to jabber a lot. It's in there. For some reason, most of the knowledge, I guess you could say I have, is like the random stuff that you never honestly need to know. But I pick up on stuff and it glues in my head, just the most random things. And so, but I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks. Let's see. Oh, where to go? Okay. Sorry, I'm reading. Will you make any Fiat model? Probably, yeah. I had it was technically my first car, I guess. My grandfather gave it to me. It was a 72 Fiat 850 convertible Spider, little rear mid-engine, goofy little car. It ended up being, it actually wasn't. I wish I would have saved it, but at the time I was 12 years old and I couldn't do anything with it. And it was just too far gone for us to consider. I wish I still had it because I'd fix it at this point. But we were able to save another car from him, or working on it, something that we're going to be working on pretty soon. But yes, I'd like one of the little like Fiat 500s. That's something I'd want to keep an eye out for. I like the little weird stuff. And so something like that for me, even though there's not a ton of like the 850s, you see more of them here than you do like the 500s. So I want to keep an eye out for something like that. Manual shift or automatic. Here's how. So both. It just depends on the day of the week and how I'm feeling. I have probably owned and insured and registered 40 something cars at this point. Now I've had a lot more than that, but just put in my name 40 something cars, and probably 85% of them have been manuals. I love a manual shift car. It just adds so much entertainment and enjoyment to driving, and you get your. For me, I feel like as a teenager, especially, I paid a lot more attention to what I was doing, shifting and pushing that clutch in, and just paying attention to where I was going and what I was doing. But I like an automatic, especially in like a new truck for towing, like my Yukon. I jump in it, I throw a trailer on it, I sit back and talk to my dad while we drive, 6 or 8 hours. And And so it just depends. Like the Comet, I was going to manual swap, and we probably will at some point of time. But I kind of like it as an automatic, and it's not necessarily because it's just I want to be lazy or anything. It's different because I've had so many manuals. It's kind of cool to have a little automatic you can bang around and shift. So it's one of those things. I've never really been an automatic guy, but I don't mind an automatic. So do I like old Yes, I love old Mopars from the 50s and 60s. Old Mopars are so expensive though, kind of like a Porsche, but I'd love to jump on something. One of probably my all-time favorite cars is a 1969 Daytona. That's or a 70 Superbird. I love the big wing cars. I love a Hemi, 426 Hemi. They're just that stuff's, Porsche's expensive. Those kind of Mopars are off. Maybe someday we'll find something, but even like a 69 Charger or something. My dad had a 69 Charger. He had a Dart. He had a couple Challengers. And so, yeah, I've been around the Mopars. I love the older Mopars, especially the 50s stuff. Some of those early, what a Fire Ram. I can't even think of the old Hemis and stuff that are a little bit more reasonable. I'd rock a big old 4-door Hemi, so yeah, someday we'll jump on some more and save some more. What happened when you got injured? So I bought an XR650R, and no, did I buy it? How did I get that? I traded. Oh no, I traded my 63 F100 for it, and I shouldn't have, but I did. And I was 15 and small, and small. I was maybe 6 foot tall, but I weighed 120 pounds, and I was on this massive bike, and it was geared, stage 2, ported. But it was on 100% dirt tires. That bike, I think I GPSed it one time at like 85 and it would start to speed wobble. It was retarded, huge monster of a bike. You could pop a wheelie at 60 miles an hour. It was just ridiculous. And I wasn't supposed to be riding it. And I did. And I took it out on the road and I was putting around on it. And there were some guys there that I went to school with. And I decided to show off and rolled it end over end. Had a helmet on, which saved my life, but I did not have it strapped. So when I hit the ground at probably 80 miles an hour, I face planted and broke my neck. And then my helmet came off and I rolled probably 100 yards down the road and through a field and through those big rocks that are in your drainage ditches. And so that actually, when I hit, it fractured my skull. So I've got a skull fracture from here up into here, and I tore my scalp off. And then tore this open. Like I said, I broke my C3, fractured my C4, C5, and C6. And so that was my first accident. And then 8 months later, I was driving a friend's car. I shouldn't have been, but I was. It was actually a Volkswagen Passat, little 5-speed V6. And we weren't speeding like crazy or anything. It went from 35 to 55. I probably took off, but it was raining, and we hydroplaned and wrapped it around a tree and took the rocker panel. The driver, thankfully I was driving, and that's what took the brunt, because it was me, my friend Brian at the time, the guy that owned the car, my little brother behind me, and his friend, just dumb kids. And so took the rocker panel to the center console. I mean, I can post pictures up. You may not want to see them. It's awful. There was no driver's compartment left. I literally was wrapped around. It was just this little tiny tree, and it just wrapped the car in half. Thankfully, with the airbags and everything, I'll give it to the Volkswagen, probably helped being a Volkswagen. But so I was stuck in the car for 2 hours, but actually saved my life because I fractured another vertebra, had a collapsed left lung, 6 broken ribs, full laceration of my liver, which if I had been pulled out immediately, I would have bled out in seconds. Internally, I had a little nick to the back of my head, but otherwise everything was inside. I had contusions to everything, broken hip. It was pretty rough. It was a nasty. It was a lot worse than the first wreck. I looked a lot better, but it was a lot worse. So, and then I drive pretty easy after that. I still hot rod a little bit, but I've got children now. And so that's why mostly I drive slow stuff. I like just putting around and taking it easy. So there's my injuries. There's a lot more just from BMXing and skateboarding and stuff, but thanks, Wayne. I am too. It's been super fun. Oh, sorry I jabbed about that for so long. See you, Shane. Thanks, man. Yep, I'll sell some more. Woo! 427 side oiler. Good grief, man. That'd be ridiculous. You have to literally, I can only imagine cramming that thing in there. Kind of like they had the Cyclones you could get with a 427, and then they had obviously the Thunderbolts that had the 427. That's a ridiculous car. Hey, Rob. Thanks, man. What did I do with the 1800? I still have it, and it's waiting. It's going to be built. It was supposed to go in the Nash, but we ended up finding an original 1500 high comp for it. Excuse me, for super reasonable, and we ended up sticking that in there. And so it's set to the side until I find an MGB GT or something else to swap it in, and then we'll get the get the machining done and get it all put together. Old red Ram. Cool. Let's see. I don't know about for the new Beetle. I've seen the Smith U-Builds on the Mark IV Jettas. I know that's like the most popular. I don't know if I've ever seen it on a Beetle. That's I'll have to check that out. That's probably pretty cool. I love it's a new pickup truck, basically like the old Beetles too. But I like the Jettas, especially if you with the golf front ends on them. So that was always something I wanted to do, which that's a pretty pricey conversion, but something I consider doing that with the TDI wagon that I used to have. I love small diesel engines. That's why I've had a bunch of all my Rabbit pickups have been 1.5 or 1.6 naturally aspirated diesels, and I love a little diesel, just a little rattle your teeth out diesel. They're cool little things. 57, 58 Plymouth Fury, Christine. That's one of my favorite movies. Yeah, that's definitely a dream car to have. I'd love to have one too. Oh yeah, man. I love a wing car. What am I going to do with the old $150 Ford truck? It is just sitting out here. We went through the fuel system, got it all hooked back up, so it's running off of its tank. Got an ignition system in it. It's if somebody wants it, it's for sale. The biggest issue with that truck, we were told it had a title when we bought it. Now they're kind of going back on it. It is clean, so it can be titled, but there's going to be a process that either I have to go through or somebody has to go through. If you want just a run around mud rig, it'll be really fun. You either have to cab swap it, go through Vermont or whatever state you're in. South Carolina, it's not terrible to do now. It just takes some time that, we got to keep stuff moving. So if somebody wants that truck, it is for sale. We'll sell it pretty reasonable if somebody wants it. Do a video on my accidents. I'll do a video. I'll maybe do a video talking about it. And it's some pretty gory pictures though. The second one, not as much. The first one, yes, that one was gross, I guess you could say, because I was messed up. I know I'll be honest, one of the guys there, Amos, that I went to school with, apparently walked over, saw me, turned around, and puked his guts out because I was messed up. It was bad. I was fine. I was out of it. I was laughing, and I was so messed up, and adrenaline was pumping. But I had a broken neck, so they made me stay there. But it was a mess. Yes, yes, so lucky to be alive. Things could have been a lot different. I'm glad to be here and have an incredible family and come a long ways from that. Have I watched Junkyard Digs? Yeah, I've watched Junkyard Digs. So I actually tried to reach out to Junkyard Digs to do a revival with him, but hadn't heard anything back from him. And then obviously Vice Grip Garage is really busy, but I got a really fun revival that I wanted to do a roadkill back home with. So hopefully somebody will reach out to me and we'll do a fun revival, getting that car drug back home. Yeah, that was fun. There was other ways we could have gone about it, but that thing had literally been soaking with Marvel Mistral, which unsticks anything, for months, and it was not coming free. We had Dad's MG, the orange one, when we got it, it was frozen, and it was as bad, if not worse, but on 2 cylinders as that Ford, and we took it apart and tried everything we possibly could for a year to get that engine free, and it never would. So I knew the only way we would, the heck, that light bulb's spazzing. I'm about to, okay. The only way we were going to get it loose was to bump on it a little bit and try to get it to spin free. And so it did. And it what's funny is it had that little knock when we first got it going. It has some blow by, but it literally blows barely any. When you're getting on it up a hill, it'll puff a little blue smoke. But the thing, we fired it up yesterday to move it around when we got the fuel tank hooked back up, and it runs awesome. I mean, it to be as frozen and nasty as that cylinder runs, it runs awesome. It's such a smooth running old truck. The day that we took it out and ran around, it literally from 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 6. So 5 hours straight, it was either running around or idling. I stalled it one time and the battery fell out of it, and that was it. It ran the entire time. It did awesome. Getting a 63 Comet convertible. Cool. That'll be sorry, man. I hate to hear that, but that'll definitely be a really cool car to get back going. Oh, where'd we go? Red Toyota Hilux. We no longer have the Hilux. So I was going to work on that truck, and we were actually planning to do a V8 swap, and then we needed a little bit of money for the Porsche, and so we ended up selling that one. If you guys want to see another Hilux, there's another one at that same scrapyard. So it's actually nicer shape. So that might be something we're going to consider jumping into and grabbing. We just have so many other projects. But we'll definitely do another Hilux because I really do enjoy them. Put a V8 in the MG. So we sold the orange MG. So we no longer have that because Dad has a 69 Cougar convertible that we're going to be working on soon. Yeah, but I kind of want to put a V8 in one of the Datsuns because we have two of them. One of them has the original drivetrain. The other one came with a crank and a head and a few random bits, but it's a solid car and they're a full frame car. So I might pull the body, X-frame it, drop a motor in it, maybe a Coyote or something. I don't know. Maybe an LS. I don't know. I probably want to do something to maybe a little diesel. I don't know. Something crazy. Put some big chunker tires in the rear, tub it out, just because it's a no title, kind of like the other one. We can find them for those, but I don't want to go running around trying to title everything we get, because it might look bad because you're only supposed to do like 6 cars a year and we probably buy and sell 40 of them. How much for the truck? Probably maybe $700, $650, $700, something like that. But shoot me an email if any of y'all are interested in it. We'll work something out. I feel like, honestly, with that truck, the bed is pretty good shape, and that's probably worth fairly, decent money. Definitely want to be fair with it, but at the same time, it helps pay for the channel and keeps our other projects going. So, let's see. Do I like El Caminos, Rancheros? Yes, I love little car trucks. I like my Rabbit. It's a cheaper version. Well, actually, not anymore, but they've always been a cheaper version. As far as Ranchero goes, I like most of them, especially the little Falcon Rancheros, because I love Falcons. I like them all the way up until they got to the big Torino ones, which I'd rock a big Torino Ranchero, but they're probably my least favorite. As far as El Caminos go, I like an El Camino. Probably one of my favorite would be like a 67, but I like a 50 or a 65. But yeah, I like any and everything. Yes, I really do dig El Caminos and Rancheros. It's different and weird, and that's what I'm all about. What is my opinion of the growth of electronic cars? I think it's awesome. I don't want it to push the old gas guzzling stuff out, but I think they're wicked cool. You have instant, ridiculous torque. As far as what's going on there, if you do it yourself, you can do it extremely reliably, and that's really cool for me. So yeah, that would be pretty. I like electronic cars. I think they're really cool. Do a tour of the car graveyard. We will. So the problem is there's stuff here. There's stuff at my dad's and there's stuff at my grandparents'. There's stuff everywhere just because we have nowhere to stick everything. We're trying to buy a shop, and it's kind of in between. Maybe it's an old 1920s era building that we would have to fix up. But we kind of need to get everything together, and so we can see where it all is, and then we can video it. But we might do a walk around. Cool 62 Comet. What's up, Green Jin Shiro? I think I might have maybe said that right. 86 Ford Ranger 4x4 turbo diesel. Nice. Let's see, were those a factory? It's a Perkins, right? I think that's what those came with. Is it a factory turbo diesel? That's really cool. I like the little Rangers. I like the little, like a 2. I always wanted to stick a 2.3 turbo in a little Ranger. I had that Falcon with a 2.3 in it that I was going to stick a 2.3 turbo in. But yeah, I like the little diesel Rangers. Those are cool little trucks, especially 4x4. I did talk to Derek. I emailed him and he said he was just too booked up and too busy, but we'll see. Maybe if I hit that 100K mark and he seems like I'm a growing channel, he'll want to work with me. I know he's the big bucks guy now. Could you help? Oh, wait, where'd I go? CT weld up crusty. I'm not sure where you're going. I probably should know what you're going with there, Bob, but I don't. Musty one hookup. I like Musty one. 300 Ford or almost. Yeah, 300 Fords go forever. I mean, I'll be honest, I jump in that 66 and run it out to RPMs farther than it probably should go, and it just takes it, and that truck's been running for 2 years. It doesn't burn oil, it leaks it from every orifice it has, but it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. I love that truck. Let's see. How's the Porsche going? It's going. It's moving along. Had to do a little bit of. So today we actually were working on getting the engine swapped out in my Yukon, so I can finally have a vehicle that I can run around in, especially with heat and everything. It's somewhat comfortable. I can throw the kids in and everything because it slung that rod. But the Porsche's coming. Hopefully, maybe the end of next week or the beginning of the following week, we'll have another good update back on the Porsche. It's one of those things, just getting the money together to be able to push that car to where we want it. I definitely, hopefully before the summer, be able to get that car as far as I possibly can. I want to be driving it really soon. So keep an eye out. We definitely want to get the wiring done, get the engine dropped in it, get the thing running, and wrap up the paint job. And then it's just going to be a matter of assembling it. So Tesla Ludicrous mode test drive video. Yes, I want to find a Tesla that I can afford on Copart, and then we'll do one. But if somebody has a Tesla that want to take me even for a ride in, I would go for a ride in it just because I want to check it out. I've heard a lot about them and they're pretty cool. Do a 63 Ford Fairlane Sport Coupe. I would, if one pops up that I can jump on. Dad normally sends me stuff like that, so we've seen a couple, just not ones we could quite afford to jump on yet. One of my favorite older Fords, I got so many favorite, whatever. One that I really, really like and used to be one of my favorite cars is the 63.5 Galaxy fastback. So that's one that I'd hopefully soon would like to jump on. Actually, one of our first builds right after the Porsche was supposed to be, I was going to buy a 63.5 Galaxy, but we weren't able to. So did I see? Oh no! Did I see Rich Rebuilds putting a 6.2 V8 in a Tesla model? I have not yet. I've watched a few of his things. Like he had that little hot rod. He stuck the little rat rod that he stuck the electric motor in, and I've seen some of his builds and stuff, but I have not seen that. I'll have to go check that out. Let's see. Yeah, Perkins are definitely. Yeah. We had at the shop, I think it was an old Massey 135 with the Perkins, no glow plugs or anything. You go out there, be 30 degrees and turn that thing over and it'd fire right up. Old high compression motor, and they're cool things. Yes, I need a Challenger. Like I said, Dad had two. One was technically a parts car. It was a 7500. Then he had a 70 RT that he sold for a lot less than, which this was in the 90s, but a lot less than what I'd pay for one. But they're just, Mopar stuff is getting so ridiculously priced. If I can find the right thing, we'll jump on it. But I mean, a rusted out Charger's bringing 12, 14 grand now, and it's just crazy what stuff's going for. But one day we'll jump on something. Currently restoring a 67 Impala. Ooh, where'd I go? Is there any way I could get you to sign on? Yeah, I would. I don't really have a good signature, but I can try to shoot me an email. That's a cool request. If you want me to put it on there, I will be more than glad to. So shoot me an email. Factory turbo diesel. Yes, 4x4 had a Mitsubishi. 2-wheel drives had the Perkins. Yes. Oh, cool. Okay. Nice. I like is it the Mitsubishi? Was that the little trucks that had the... No, why am I brain farting? What are those little trucks? I'm not even sure. It's here, but it's not getting to here. The other little trucks that they had the Isuzus. I like the little Isuzu 4x4 pups, like the little king cabs and everything. Those are cool little trucks too. Have a leaker myself, Suzuki. Yeah. If you buy a beer, he will come. Oh, I'll buy. I got some beer. CT, taking those bits and then self-tabbed. I'm not sure. I should know what CT is, but I don't know why I probably do, but I don't know. What was it? 83 Rabbit GTI 1.8. That's awesome. That's a cool little car. And they're especially like on Bring the Trailer is thing. Stuff's going for crazy money. Okay, I'll check out CT and see. What's up, Jack? Chevy Love pickups are awesome, which is the Isuzu. It's got especially in the diesel. Didn't they have the diesel in it? I'd like a Chevy Love and then put the Isuzu diesel in it. The little 4x4. Yeah, Isuzu. That's what I thought they had. Skateboard in the back. So yeah, I did. I wasn't like a crazy skater. I did some skateboarding so I could drop in and rideable and stuff. But I was a BMXer. I love BMX. I rode a bunch of street. I wasn't crazy good, but I guess I was, especially in my area, I was pretty good. I'd like to get back into BMX. I'm kind of old and fat now, but it'd be a good thing to get me back in shape maybe. So the Comet actually has a 68-302 in it, which is basically the same as the car originally. We got it. We thought it was a 289, but it was a 262 barrel car originally, but somebody stuck a 302 in it. So it's got a 68-302 in it. Same thing as a 289. Pretty much. There's very little. There are differences, but they're pretty close. My plans with the car: get it going, run the snot out of it. Basically just a fun little street rod and something to show off what we do. Excuse me. Suspension, it definitely needs new rear shackles and everything. I want to go through all the bushings and just get it ready to get out and have fun with it and then really put some miles on it. Clean up the engine bay really nice, go through the interior, but leave it kind of ratty on the outside. Any merch coming. So like I said, we have stickers right now and I actually just shipped some out today to some of our subscribers that bought them. I got them in my little sticker pack here. That thing's looking a little messy now, but got a bunch of stickers here. And so you can get those at our website. It's budgetbuildsyt.com, but hopefully soon I'm trying to find somebody, if you know someone, to put me in touch with, someone to do shirts for us. I had some made, wasn't super happy with them, but shirts, hats, and hoodies, kind of stuff like that to start with and go from there. But yeah, hopefully soon we'll start getting some stuff like that. Oh geez. I broke some bones and messed some stuff up skating and BMXing. My ultimate dream car. So really my ultimate dream car is probably a 69 Dodge. I guess it would be Dodge Daytona. So Dodge Charger Daytona 426 Hemi 4-speed would probably be my like absolute dream car, or a 62 Ferrari 250 GTO. Completely different cars, completely different realms, but those are probably two of my tops. But that's like, when I'm a multimillionaire. kind of cars. But someday, have you seen any Subaru Brats around? I haven't really. One popped up not too long ago that we thought about jumping on, but they get so rotted out. A lot of people drive them up in North Carolina and stuff, and so if we find a decent one that we think we can save without too much, I say rotted out. Everything I own is rotted out, but you know what I mean. I like the Brats though, so we'll jump on one of those sometime. The Porsche I probably won't ever sell. I will someday if it came to it. With 3 children, of course, I'd sell anything. So I'd like to say I wouldn't, though. I'd like to keep that car for as long as we possibly can. How did I make out with that fan for the 911? You're talking about you're talking about the alternator fan? I've got a friend, John, that's got, he had an 11 blade. I think he also had the housings because the housings busted. So hopefully if we can jump on those, we can get all that put back together. So we can hopefully drop that motor and get all the heat shields and everything put back on it. When will we see the Porsche run? I want to see it run pretty soon. I don't know about y'all. As soon as possible. Even if I can go ahead, we're in the process of ordering the clutch and the flywheel and everything for it because it's pretty bad shape. And once we get that together, we'll stick them both back together. And even if we floor run it, I want to hear the thing run, and then we can drop it in and go through that wiring and hopefully turn that key and crank the thing up. But hopefully really soon. Like I said, it's kind of honestly a money thing. It's I can kind of afford it, but at the same time, I've got to pay bills, and that's why we're doing the flipping the cars and everything. And so, hey, Bubba.
I have cookies for you.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that, Bubba. You want to say hey?
No.
Okay. He don't want to say hey. So we're working on it. We'll get there. Huh? No, it's a live. It's people on YouTube, Bubba. Yep, kids do that, man. Yeah, I used to ride downhill mountain biking too. I really enjoy getting. I love bicycles. That was what I was all about. And then before I got into cars and everything, and I still do. I really enjoy. We've got a lot of antique bicycles and stuff still. I don't know if you've seen them around the garage and stuff. Some that we definitely need to get going. Let's see. Get a Raleigh chopper. Those are cool. I used to have the AMF chopper with the wood grain stick shift, kind of like the Camaro on it. I had white letter, red line, or yeah, they were white letter Goodyear slicks and everything. That was a cool bike. So I don't just like BMX bikes. I was an antique classic. Most of my stuff was like skip tooth stuff, so I like the pre-war stuff. I had like a 36 Belknap was one of my first bikes, one of my original paint bike that I got going. We've still got a pre-war. Yeah, I can't even think of that name. We got a pre-war tank bike in the garage, skip tooth. Got a couple girl skip tooth bikes. But if you guys want to see some of our classic bikes, we've got some really cool ones. We do have a really, really cool Triumph. That's probably one of 3 in the world. That's actually hanging up in my garage. If you guys want to see some old bicycles. Have you already driven a 911? The 911 that I drove was Chris's 4G63 450 rear wheel horsepower 911, the most retarded car. I think retarded in a good way. It was ridiculous. I mean, literally the craziest thing I've ever been in, and was he let me drive. That car was crazy. So I drove one, but it almost doesn't count because it wasn't, the slow 2.7 like this will be that you can throw around curves. It was a monster of a car. Super, super cool car. So I drove one for 3 minutes. No, probably 10 minutes. But so that's the only 911 I've ever driven. Hopefully another one pretty soon. Hopefully ours pretty soon. Ever get the... Yeah, that's I like the Saab 96. Those are cool little cars. Hey, Freddie. I can't wait to get it done either. Thanks, man. Oh, cool. Got a couple 64 fans. Thanks, Mikey.
Come say hi to everybody.
Oh, you want to say hi, honey? Hi. This is Isabel. She goes by Belle. It's my oldest. See you, hon. Thanks so much, Damien. Don't bug Peaches, baby. She's sleeping, honey. She
always goes in the middle now.
Let's see. Got any F100s, F150s in the future? So, like I said before, what do we have right now? We've got a 53 F100 V8 factory flathead V8. Last year of the flathead, actually Ford-O-Matic, pretty cool little old truck, original black, that we actually bought from an estate auction, I think before coronavirus. It just kind of got tucked back because we were so focused on the Porsche. So we'll get on that one pretty soon. The motor was locked down solid, so that's another one of those frozen engine, will it runs. Trans-America Trail coast-to-coast off-road trip. That would be awesome. So the RV thing that we have that we saved here pretty recently that we're going to be working on later this year is our tow vehicle that we can put a trailer behind. It in itself is actually really cool. And we can take it and it'd be cool to pull something off-road on it and go on a trip, Trans-American. That'd be really, really cool. Where does the interest in the MGs come from? I don't know. So they're just really cool little cars. And so probably was it maybe 5.5 years ago, we were digging around on eBay. We've always really liked them, and Dad's orange MG Midget popped up. We bought it and started working on it. The motor was frozen, couldn't get it going. So we bought a parts car. And then from there, it was just parts car after parts car after parts car to fiddle around and try to pay that, get parts that we needed without going crazy spending. And they're just really cool little cars. And so it was just doing that really got us going on the little MGs. It's just one of those odd, different little cars. And that's what we're all about. Thanks, Brendan. Come to Colorado and you can drive. Yeah, man, I'll come take it for a ride. Like I said, I had that 924S, which has basically the 944 motor in it. But I'd love to come try out that 924 turbo. Where's the Porsche? It's in the garage where it hangs out. I can't wait to get that thing done. Thank you so much, Chris, for supporting the channel, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. How does my wife? So that's when we first got married. I think she was kind of like, another car, but I didn't have a bunch at the time. It was just flipping. I was constantly having a different car. I always had to trade up or trade or buy something else. And she was, and then when I started flipping them and it was paying her bills, now that it pays her bills, she doesn't mind. It definitely is something that I don't think she's always excited about, having so many junk cars around. They're not all junk, but they're junk. To me, they're cool. They're really cool cars, but most of the stuff, somebody driving by or the neighbor thinks they're junk, So she's awesome. That's why. That's how she puts up with it. Yes, MGs are super fun. Ever thought about a beach dune buggy? Yeah, so that was kind of why we bought the Nash Metropolitan that we have, that hand-built fiberglass car. I've always really liked the Myers-Manx. They're super cool little cars. And I like the air-cooled Beetle stuff, but that one was so different because it was very similar, but it was built on that Nash Metropolitan chassis that it was just so wild and obscure. And there's not another one out there like it. So that's kind of what drew us to that. But yeah, I'd definitely be interested in. I'd jump in a little beach dune buggy if we come across one that we can save. 67 MGB GT. Yeah, they're awesome. Whew. I'd love to be able to get to 1 million subscribers. That would be really fun. I definitely, hopefully soon, actually my cousin Ilana is going to come start helping filming and stuff, which is hopefully going to help with getting stuff moving a little quicker and taking some off my shoulders, because we're trying this 2 to 3 video a week thing, and I feel like the past 2 weeks we've done okay with it. I've been off by a little bit of what time I said I was going to post it, because I'll be like, I'm going to get this posted at this time, but then stuff kind of piles up and runs over, and it gets pushed a few hours off or the next afternoon off. But we're getting there, and hopefully with some help. And the biggest thing is we're looking for maybe a piece of property to put a shop on, or a vintage building or shop that we can restore and do. That'll be good content, I feel like, to kind of get all of our cars in one place and be able to move a little bit more with what we're doing and keep some good content out for you guys. So, oh, that's really cool. A Fiat 850. Nice. All right, y'all. Well, I am going to jump off and eat some dinner because I smell it in there and have for the past hour. And I really thank you so much, everyone that jumped on and listened to me blab for the past hour and 40 minutes. It's really awesome to hear from everybody and see where everyone's from. And I really do appreciate all the support. It is awesome, y'all. And I know I do, and my family really appreciates it. And hopefully we can keep going with this and pushing it farther and harder and coming out with a lot more fun content. I hope you guys do enjoy the Will It Runs and us saving those cars. And hopefully soon we'll get this Porsche done as well, and the Rabbit and the 66 and some other stuff. But thank you all so much. Let's see. Peace out and catch y'all on the flip side. Thanks, y'all. Good night.